We have Senator Tim Scott with us, Republican South Carolina, who is a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee. Mr. Senator, welcome to the show. Good to see you, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for having me back. What a good speech we heard from the president.
Yeah. Wasn't it just? I mean, that was engaging, it was uplifting, and a perfect send-off for the Memorial Day weekend. Do you think we're right that that was aimed in part at North Korea?
No doubt that it was a clear and compelling message to the world, and specifically to those folks on the other side of the aisle, not our Democrats, but the Koreans. This is so important for us to have a serious conversation about who we are, where we're going, and why that is so. Those graduates represent the best of the best from a military perspective coming our way, but it also sends a very strong message to the North Koreans about our seriousness and the president's approach that has been very successful, sometimes unorthodox, but very successful at making progress in a very difficult situation.
Yes, sir, you're the senator from South Carolina. South Carolina, I believe, is a very military, that there's a lot of military in South Carolina. You think that speech will go down well with your constituents?
I guarantee you it will go down really well with my constituents.
Mr. Senator,
in addition to the fact that it was a...
Forgive me for jumping in.
That was a softball. God bless you for that one.
Total softball.
Absolutely. Let's do more of that. But let's say this before we move on to other topics. The president has put his money where his mouth is. In other words, this new NDAA is providing a 2.6% raise for our troops. It's focusing on shipbuilding. It's modernizing barracks for our new folks at Fort Jackson, doing significant work down at Parris Island. The reality of it is the president is serious about protecting us from a national security standpoint and recognizing and celebrating the success and the bravery of men and women who are willing to put their lives on the line at a very young age. We have a lot to be thankful for, and that speech was one of the most optimistic, forward-leaning speeches I've heard in a year.
Would you comment, please, on Nancy Pelosi's statement, which came out immediately after the president killed off the June 12th summit, or at least he did that yesterday? Nancy Pelosi said Kim Jong-un is having a giggle fit. She was essentially mocking the president and what he'd done with the summit and vis-a-vis North Korea. Your comment, please, Mr. Senator.
It is incredibly inappropriate for anyone in leadership in Congress to suggest that somehow the president, North Korean's leader, is having a good time and giggling about this situation. I liken those comments to talking to the American people who received an increase in their pay and calling those crumbs. We should be very careful of the negative messages that we're saying about the American people and saying about adversaries who are strongly positioned to do harm. And we have a president who's using presidential hubris to push back on a North Korean bully. And this is good news for our country, good news for world peace. And unfortunately, Nancy Pelosi once again shows us why we need to make sure that the GOP continues to be the leading voice in Congress.
Now, I did say that the president yesterday said, look, he's not going to the summit June the 12th. But it seems like things have reversed a little bit since then. The president this morning put a possibility back on the table that there would be a June 12th summit. And the North Koreans have put out a statement saying they're still planning for a summit. Do you think one should take place? Do you think one will take place?
Well, here's what I think. The president has done a good job. I was at the White House yesterday when he made his statement. I was standing behind him. One of the things I thought he did really well is he took control of the conversation. He is not going to have someone else decide when, where, and how, and under what arrangements, what principles undergird the success of this conversation. He has already succeeded. We have 3 Americans back home because of the forceful negotiations of this president. If he decides to meet with Kim Jong-un, it will be on his terms, and those terms will be best for our national security and will actually hearken to a new day of world peace if they are willing to come to the table and not give us ceremonial pageantry, but actually have a conversation that leads to tangible and measurable results in the denuclearizing of North Korea. Without that kind of assurance, I do not believe that this president will find himself at a table across from Kim Jong-un.
Okay. Tim Scott, Senator, South Carolina, Republican. a perfect timed appearance. Thank you very much, sir. We do appreciate it.
Yes, sir.